Understanding your current level will help you to decide how long you will take to prepare for IELTS Academic to get the band score you need. These examples gives you a rough indicator as how much you need time. If you need IELTS Academic Band 7, there are 5 examples I will discuss now. If you are currently in C1 proficient, it will take you 30 hours of guided study. If you are B2 level, then it will take 50 hours of guided study for you in order to get you a band 7. If you are B1 level, then it will quite long time to prepare, more than 50 hours for you in order to get you band 7 in every test. That includes writing, speaking, reading, listening as well. Next one, test format. The test format I already discussed in the previous video, but I'll give you a glance now. To start with writing, and you can see what's in the writing academic paper. There are 2 writing tasks and both must be completed. In task 1, you have to describe some visual information in your own words. You will be given an examples like graph, table, chart or diagram. You need to write at least 150 words in about 20 minutes. You will get about 60 minutes for this test. And in task 1, you will get a picture. Unlike to task 2, you will get a data in task 1. You need to answer by observing the task. I'll recommend you write at least 150 to 170 words, not more than that. If you write more than that, you get likely mistakes. If you are mistakes, then the score might be affected in the evaluation process. And now comes to task 2. You're given a point of view, argument or problem which you need to discuss. Here you need to write at least 250 words in about 40 minutes. The time limit here 40 minutes and here 20 minutes. This depends on you. If you can write this in quickly, then you don't need here 40 minutes. Generally, people spend task 2 for 40 minutes because the task 2 weightage is more than task 1. The task 2 weightage is 60%. This weightage is just 40%. The majority of the marks will come in task 2. And another one you need to keep in mind is you must write your answers using full sentences. You must not write your answers as notes or bullet points like we generally do in terms of a lecture. You must write your answers on the answer sheet. You are allowed to write notes on the question paper, but these will not seen by the examiner. Next one, listening. This is the easiest test in IELTS. You can see the paper has 4 parts with 10 questions in each part. The questions are in the same order as the information in the recording. So the answer to the first question will be before the answer to the second question and so on. In part 1 and part 2, it deals with everyday social situations. There is a conversation between 2 speakers in part 1. For example, a conversation about travel arrangements. Only one person speaks in part 2. For example, a speech about local facilities. In my personal experience, part 1 and part 2 are very easy. You just get normal conversations in part 2, and part 2 is bit difficult when compared to part 1. Part 3 and 4 will be tricky, but will not be impossible task, but slight difficult, but you can do with practice. You can see part 3 and 4 deals with educational and training situations. In part 3, there is a conversation between two main speakers, for example, two university students in discussion, perhaps guided by a tutor. In part 4, only one person speaks on an academic subject. Part 4 will be difficult when compared to part 1, 2 and 3. So you need to keep thorough with part 4. This comes only by practice. You will hear the recordings once only. Different accents, including British, Australian, New Zealand, and North American, are used. I would suggest you need to practice on listening different accents every day. It may be British, Australian, New Zealand, North America. We don't know what accent you may get. You will need to transfer your answer sheets to the answer sheet. You will have 10 minutes at the end of the test to do this. And this only for paper based. In computer based you will get 2 minutes to check the answers. But in paper based you will get 10 minutes at the end. You should be careful when writing your answers on the answer sheet because you will lose marks for incorrect spelling and grammar. You need to keep in mind here that if your spelling is even one word spells wrong, then you lose a mark here. Remember that. Next one, reading. It's in the reading IELTS academic reading paper. Tests come from books, journals, magazines, newspapers, and online resources, written for a non-specialist audience. All the topics are of general interest to students at undergraduate or postgraduate level. The test may be written in different styles, for example, narrative, descriptive, or discursive or argumentative. At least one text contains detailed logical argument. Tests may also contain diagrams, graphs, or illustrations. If texts use technical vocabulary, then a simple dictionary definition is provided. In IELTS reading, you will get different tests, but the three tests will be different from one another. First test you will get will be easy when compared to other. In the second test it will be intermediate level, and third test will be very difficult when compared to 1 and 2. Don't worry, you will get good band only when you practice every day. At starting it will be difficult for you to get to know the format. You will need to transfer your answers to an answer sheet. Here there will be no time to transfer your answer in the answer sheets. You have to do it in the given time. You can see you must transfer your answers during the hour you are given for the reading test. Observe here. Unlike the listening test, no extra transfer time is given. You should be careful when writing your answers on the answer sheet because you will lose marks for incorrect spelling and grammar. You lose marks for incorrect spelling. Guys, you need to remember that incorrect spelling has to be avoided. And also, there will be no negative marking in the IELTS exam, but incorrect spellings will get negative marking for incorrect spelling. Not negative marking, you lose, sorry. For speaking test, you see, the speaking test is a face-to-face interview between the test taker and an examiner. The speaking test is recorded. There are 3 parts to the test and each part follows a specific pattern of tasks in order to test your speaking ability in different ways. Here I will share my personal experience. When I entered into the room, the examiner asked me 3 parts. In part 1, he just asked me a few basic questions like where do you live and do you work or study. The basic questions will be in part 1. And also some specific topics as well, like about books, sports, and clothes or any other topics that I will discuss in later part. In part 2 you will get a cue card on a specific topic. You will be given 1 minute time for preparation, and after the preparation of 1 minute you will have to speak for 2 minutes with a good vocabulary. And I will recommend here, I'll suggest that you should not stop in middle, and filler words should be avoided. If you avoid more filler words, then you will likely get a good band here. The fluency matter. Next one. And we completed discussing the test format, guys. Now, to develop a study plan, it is very important to prepare how to plan a study, not only for IELTS, for any exam. You can see that a sample study plan I prepared for you. Timings in the first column, you can see the days: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. The timings here, these timings can be varied on depending on your choice, but generally I made this for 11:15 to 12:30. You can allocate your time for reading, general reading skills, speed reading techniques, strategies for different questions types, identifying context clues. And Tuesday for task 2 in essay writing, develop, extend and exemplification of ideas, how to form a logical argument, grammar for academic test. Allocate your time for task 2 in writing in Tuesday. In Wednesday for task 1, graph analysis, difference between static process and movement, grammatical structure, adverbial and adjectival phrases. In Thursday for speaking, specifically for part 2, how to organize your thoughts, speed, pronunciation and intonation. This will help you to talk faster and fluent. For Friday, students work from home on online assessments. You can take mock tests for IELTS exam, and that can be available in online. And you can see from 1:15 to 2 for speaking, and on Thursday, idea generation, brainstorming under pressure, timed writing practice. This will help you for writing test. Not only for task 1, will help you for task 2 as well. Wednesday, organizing information, timed writing practice. This will also for writing practice. And Thursday is for completely listening. You will get recognition, spelling strategies for different question types, prediction and interferencing, basic test strategies, note taking. For Friday, students work from home. In Friday, these are completely for mock tests. 6 to 7 reading, and for Tuesday, this will be allocated for essay. Wednesday for task 1 writing, and Thursday for speaking part 2. You can see that I didn't mention speaking part 1. This is only because most of the people feel tough for only part 1, so that you can prepare thoroughly for part 2. And you can see I allocated for task 2 as well here for writing. Now we come to tips. You can see, to start with listening tips, read before you listen, predict the answer, and this will help you to predict the answer before you listen. Read as you listen, focus on the question, never focus on other things but exam. Only focus on the exam when you listen. The personal experience, I was felt that when I was listening, uh, I have other things in my mind, so that when I felt that I couldn't concentrate on the exam. So This only happened during mock tests, not in the real exam. But most of the people feel this. I would recommend not to do this. And third one, don't leave the question at the end. Practice your shorthand. Check your spelling. Check your spelling. This is very important. If you write incorrect spelling, then you will likely lose mark. Don't write the answer too quickly. Don't leave any blank answers. And I would like to add one more thing will be write all the letters in capital. Listen for repeated information as well. Last one. Sorry. Next one, reading tips. Predict what the text is about. Read quickly through 1 to 2 minutes to get the general idea. Read the questions and highlight the keywords. Fourth one, ignore the unknown words. Try to guess their meanings. Vocabulary matter here. Don't read everything. Find only answers to questions. Check your answers and exclude the extra options. These are the reading tips which are very important in order to prepare for reading. The writing section includes avoid writing too long essays. If you write too long essays, then you likely get more mistakes in the grammar and that may affect in the test. Don't complicate the answers. Stay on a single writing style. There will be a standard procedure for writing. I'll discuss in the future videos. Avoid writing errors. No IELTS instructions and rules. Essays should hold main idea. Attend online mock tests. This will help you to practice every day. Improve grammar and vocabulary skills. Provide a conclusion. Presentation is very important, guys. Very, very important. And the top 5 speaking tips will be there are no right answers, just be relevant. If you don't know the right answer to the question, you don't need to break during the answers. Be fluent and just be relevant. Relevant to the topic will be fine and will get a good band. Prepare by reading IELTS speaking questions and then record your answers on your phone. This will help you to speak fluently. In part 2, take notes of 2 or 3 relevant examples. If you run out of things to say, you can continue by using another example. The examiner may have no expression and may give you no feedback. Imagine that you're talking to a friend. This will help you to speak to a person who is known to you. Keep talking until the examiner stops you, especially in part 2. This will get you a good score. Do not stop until the examiner stops. And we are end of the video, guys. And the common IELTS topics are mentioned here. You can see sports and leisure, tourism, traditions, modern life transport, TVs, mobile phones and internet, environment and pollution, government and society, housing and buildings, health, work and career. These are the common IELTS topics that are being asked by IELTS. So thank you guys. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share and subscribe.